it wouldn't be so many single black women. That's just the mathematics of that, right? Bro Quinn, you said black women ain't no good and nobody wants them. Is that what I'm saying, really? Got to put your thinking cap on, man. You got to put your thinking cap on. Is that what I'm saying? I'm saying that this is how men of other races look at black women. They say, this woman is not going to be able to immortalize me. Even though she wants to be with me and she loves me, she's going to immortalize the black man. I'm just going to be involved with that. That's how these men look at it. They want to be immortalized in their own skin. Asian man wants to be immortalized with an Asian baby. A mixed baby is not going to immortalize him. I'm just trying to show you how men think about it. But see, this is you talking about difficult conversation. This is a difficult conversation for people to have. Because it's the truth and it's the reality. But nobody wants to accept that. Because you're a bad person for bringing it up. But yet, this is the way men are operating about stuff like this. This is how they operate. And then you're wondering why you're not being successful as a group with white men. If you understood stuff like this, then you could figure a way around it. You could offer him something. What else are you going to offer? You cannot offer him immortality, but you can offer him something else. So you got to figure out what you got to offer. How are you going to compete? This is just telling you, you need to figure out how you're going to compete with the Caucasian woman that can offer the white man immortality, and you cannot. You cannot offer the Asian man immortality, right? The only woman that can offer the Asian man immortality is the Asian woman and the white woman. White woman can offer everybody immortality. Because with that recessive gene, she can reproduce any offspring and immortalize the man. Brother Clarence, that's racist. That's mathematics. That's just mathematics. That's just mathematics. I know some good white people, man. So it ain't got nothing to do with I'm against them. It's not. It's just the mathematics. And you need to know how these white men think about stuff like that. As a black man, I don't really have to think about something like that, because any woman I get with, I'm going to be able to be immortalized from that union because of the dominant gene. That's so racist. That's so racist. Is it? It's just the math. It's just the mathematics. A lot of Jewish scholars did research on this stuff. Mendel, Leakey, they did a lot of different research on this stuff. You go look up their work. Don't get mad at me. I'm just repeating what they're saying. The math of it. So if you're a black woman, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to compete with that. That's all I'm saying. Maybe the white boy will look at you and say, yeah, you look good, girl, you fine, but I want to be immortalized. Can you offer that to me? But the white boys already know you can't. So you're going to have to come with something else. Now, that's up to you to figure out what you can bring to the table besides immortality. Oh, but Clarence, you talking racist. No, I'm not. I'm just talking mathematics. I'm talking mathematics. I'm talking racist. The same studies say that, like Courtney was saying, black men at the bottom. We the least selected men, almost. I ain't out here. Oh, that's racist. It's just the reality. It's just the reality. It's just reality. Why? Why are black men solely? Because they know their family will put them out. Just like Kid and Play. Kid's mom, his family, her family put her out for being with a black man. Put her out. Very common among a lot of white people. Not, well, I don't say a lot, but some. Very common. It just puts you out if you have relations, physical relations, and then children come out of a relationship with a black person. They'll just put you out. They put you out of the family. Right? It still happens. That's a very serious concern for a lot of white women. That's a very serious concern. It's a serious concern for white men. They might have a family business that's worth lots of money, man. But if they do something out of pocket, man, like marry a black woman, that may cost them their portion. Excuse me. That may cost them their portion of that a business. See, but no, we don't want to look at this stuff realistically and reality, and look at the reality. We don't want to really look at the reality of it. Anyway, let's finish. I'm gonna have to make 2 parts to this.
This wasn't a national poll or census. It was okay.
But that's what they go by. That's what they always bring up.
This is
That's what we always bring up. I'm not bringing that up. I have many different sources, right? I just gave Time source. If you go to Black Demographic, there's other sources there, right? There's sources there. So I just cited. I didn't even cite that source. She cited that source and debunked her own citation of that source because that's all she know. She ain't understand under the Time article. I should have just sent it to her. I didn't do that. Well, she could look it up for herself. But y'all seen that article, right? This is Time. This is a well-established, long-running public, accredited, syndicated magazine, right? Very credible magazine, very credible establishment, right? Very credible publication. But, a lot of times sisterhood wants to discount whatever you saying because it don't sound good. But who cares if something sounds good or not? Only thing that matters is the truth. The truth matters. Just like you said the truth about black men. We the least desired. Okay. We ain't all been out of shape. Cool. No problem. Okay. We got work to do on ourselves. But it seemed like in the black women, man, it's like you can't say you got work to do. You got to, they perfect right out the gate. No matter what they do, they should just be considered, they highly considered, and they don't even, they can't even. So instead of giving me facts that prove what you're saying, the only way that you can fight what I'm saying is to discredit what I'm saying. Instead of saying, hey, these facts disprove what you're saying. There's no facts to disprove it. I'm just going to I'm going to throw a stat out there and debunk that stat. Hey, I'm going to throw a source out there and debunk that source. Instead of saying, here's a source, and I'm going to debunk that source with my feelings. I don't have no new facts to debunk that source. I'm just going to debunk that source with my feelings. Right? Ay. All right, let's go, y'all. We got to finish up. Holy smokes.
This is the problem that we have with, for me, Fresh and Fit. For me, Cynthia G. Is that this is what it breeds. And it makes it okay. So conservative black woman, a lot of people are upset at what you have to say. I understand it because some of it I'm just like the hell. But however, there's spaces for this because we spew wrong information, wrong stats, and make our.
Whoa! What did I say that was wrong? It wasn't wrong. This is a published stats. I'm talking about. I didn't say no stats. She put stats out there, right? I didn't do it. She did it. And then she went to her feelings to debunk it. She didn't say, hey, Brother Clarence, I got this stat out here from this research that debunks that. She basically debunked it from her feelings. That was in 2014. So therefore, because it was 2014, I don't feel I have to give that no credence. Okay. Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't like your stats, Brother Clarence. So therefore, well, first of all, why do I keep saying my stat? It wasn't my stat. I didn't bring this stat into the fray. Courtney brought the stat into the fray. Not me. Courtney brought it up. Then she debunked it with her own feelings. She didn't have no other documentation to prove what she's saying. She just said, hey. She said, shout out to Courtney. She said, hey, you stating stats that are wrong, right? I never stated any stats. Then she's the one that cited a stat, right? And then she debunked it based on her feelings with no other other statistics to back up what she's saying. Then she charged me with being wrong about it. But she never did anything. She never brought any other documentation to the table. Okay, I just want y'all to see what's going on. Shout out to Courtney. But I'm just trying to see y'all what's going on, because you may get into a discussion like this, and instead of them saying, well, no, there's this study that says this. There's this study. Here's where it came from. Here's what page you can find it on. Here's the art. Here's the publication. Here's the author. This is how you can. Nothing. Nothing. Right? I feel this way. Oh, well, I feel this way. I feel this way. So that debunks your argument, because I don't like it. All right. But I give her some I give Courtney some space, man. It's her platform, so she can do what she wants. All right, let's continue.
Ourselves look horrible than what we are, and we're not.
Right. Yes, Kevin Samuels says that. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Right. Let me speak.
I'm sorry.
So again, that's why I think it's important to have these conversations. But again, it's to let's be factual here.
Okay, I'm being factual. I am being factual. She took a fact and debunked it based on her feelings. Okay? All right. Let's just be clear. I never said nothing about the Bumble situation. She brought that up, and then charged me with bringing up false information. I never brought that stat up. Whew. Ay.
Black women are not undesirable. Majority of black men want black women. But we're going off these like...
We talking about undesirable for long-term relationships. If black women were so desirable for long-term relationships, there wouldn't be so many of them out there available. That's just the eye test. I just read you the Time article where it said 69% of black women are single. 62% of black women are single. 62%. They are likely to stay single. Why? Because I'm going to tell you the real reason is because women do not have to be validated by marriage anymore. Marriage is what validated most women back in the day. Now, what validates women is social media likes, subscribers, and followers. That's what validates women now. So marriage is unnecessary now. It's an unnecessary thing. They can get sex without being married. They can get children without being married. They can get your money without being married. They can get almost any benefit of being around you that you offer. They can get to it without being married to you and having to follow your way of life that you are trying to prescribe her to do to be successful. She don't have to follow your way of life. She don't have to follow your rules, and she can get all of this stuff from you. And she can get the validation of other men at the same time. See, that wasn't available 20 years ago. That wasn't available 50 years ago. Now she can get your money and the validation of other men at the same time. Why would in the world would she need to stay in a relationship with you? All right, let's finish this last piece so we can shut this down.
Small, minute groups of people that are saying this, and the Fresh and Fits and the Cynthia G's, and making it like it's normal, and it's not. And so that's why I got to be checked. Pablo?
Okay. Yeah, so
Okay, I'm not going to let me see if I'll let Pablo talk, because I don't know if he said something that I might have to address.
okay. Yeah, so I wanted to answer Brother Clarence's question. I did a video on my channel. The Passport Bros, we're Alabama, we don't recruit. We don't have to recruit. So my particular, my group of guys and our particular ideology is different than conservative black women. I'm not that familiar with the divestment ideology of divested black women. I've heard of them, but I don't go over there, so I don't know what they espouse.
The core belief is that there are no good black men. That's the core belief. And that's what I'm saying. That's the core.
Well, no, we're trying to break the trauma bond because most black women are black male identified. So we're trying to like break that bond.
But it's an erroneous. Erroneous belief. It's an erroneous thing because it's obviously there are good black men out there. So it's erroneous from the start. That's what I'm saying. If you like black,
I mean, I've heard stuff about.
If you like white men from the beginning, and you find them attractive, that's cool. That's a different situation than I'm now, because there's no good. I can't find a good black man, so therefore all black men are no good. Therefore, I'm going to date white men only. That's a different psychological thing.
We have to break the trauma bond. That's what the divestment movement is about.
What trauma bond? What trauma bond? You're breaking the trauma bond because you're picking black men that's always giving you a problem. Instead of saying to yourself, maybe it's the type of men I'm picking, you're going to say it's the color of the skin of the men I'm picking. That's the issue. It's not the type of men I'm picking. It's the color of the skin of the men I'm picking. If I change the color of the skin of the men I'm picking, then my results will be different. They may be a little bit. But if you're taking the same problem over there, eventually it's going to rear its ugly head over there. This is what I was trying to tell these people, man. I was trying to tell, well, not these people, because I got a feeling Omawale Yella and Derek Spina knew what I was talking about. Pablo started kind of getting it after a while. So shout out to Pablo. After a while, he started getting it. He's like, oh, okay, this dude ain't jumping on her just because she's dating white dudes. He's jumping on her for the reason why she's dating white dudes. Those are two totally different situations. And so Pablo started getting it after a while. But it took him a minute to start comprehending what was going on. All right, let's finish up.
About putting black women in the driver's seat of their own fate and their own destiny when it comes to dating and marriage.
You're going to go and pick bad white men too. It's the same.
Yeah, the thing is with the increase.
Well, I'm trying to tell her, hey, you're just going to go pick bad. I mean, if you're picking bad black men, you're going to pick bad white men. You know what? You may not recognize. You're going to recognize in black men issues that need to be addressed right away because we culturally more closer in culture than if you go be with white men. You may not see it, but eventually you're the same problem because maybe it's you picking the wrong people, and you eventually gonna pick a wrong white man, and the white man you gonna pick eventually he's gonna show you that he's the wrong white man because you're not addressing the issue within you that's got you picking men that are not no good for you. Instead of saying this is what a lot of women do. Hold on, this is some good game right here. A lot of women do this. They say, hey, I want a man like my daddy. My daddy put up with my bullshit. But your daddy wasn't trying to have sex with you and build a life with you with children. That was your daddy. His job was his job was to love you no matter how foolish you was. Your husband ain't. Your husband's supposed to hold you accountable when you do foolish things. But see, you don't want somebody to hold you accountable. You don't want a man that's going to hold you accountable. You want a man that's going to be running around you behind you like Minnie Mouse, trying to get everybody else to accept your foolishness. That's what you want. Oh, don't say nothing to her. She's okay. Don't say nothing. Let me just no. Yeah. And the dude running around behind you like that. But are you really gonna respect a man like that in 20 years? I don't think so. I don't think so. And what man wants to be in that position for 20 years, running behind somebody with a net all the time, trying to say, "Oh, I'll clean up after her. I'll clean up after her. No, it's no problem. I'll do it." No, after a while, you're going to be like, wait a minute, hold on. I can't keep doing this. I believe that's what happened to Megan Good's husband. He just got tired of making excuses for her. Pastor, your wife is out here doing this. Yeah, well, I love my wife and I want her to be happy and do what she want to do. Nah. After a while, he started realizing how dumb he looked after a while. Anyway, I'm trying to tell this sister, man, that if you have problems finding good black men, you're probably going to have problems finding good white men because you are not addressing your own issues. And that's what Omawale was trying to tell her a long time ago, but she wasn't it went right past her, right? Because she wasn't there to learn nothing. She wasn't there to discourse. She was there to be contrarian. Period, as Rico would say. Her job was there to just be the contrarian person. So she was just like, I'm going to make these black dudes mad by telling them I just date white women. I don't think any of us gave a goddamn. We didn't care. Go date as many white men as you can. Let them run through you like, racetrack horse turnstile, right? Okay, whatever you want to do. But just know what you're doing and know why you're doing it so you can get the best outcome for yourself, even if you're dating white men. Right? I would think that if you're dating white men, you would want to have a long-term relationship and get married, right? I mean, that should be the ultimate goal, right? If you are, committed to just dating white men, okay, eventually you would want to settle down with at least one of them guys, right? So how you gonna get the best outcome if you don't ask these questions and then try to figure out how you gonna maneuver around them so that you can get the best outcome for yourself? But the comprehension, man, the comprehension is so poor in the black community. It's really bad. It is really bad. All right, so let us move down the line.
With the increase of interracial dating between black women and white men, yes, you're going to hear more stories about white men killing their black wives because the numbers are going to increase. We're having more interaction with each other. So, but that does nothing. That's not in comparison.
You're not looking
black men kill black women. Oh my God, at the most highest rate ever. No comparison.
She didn't want to listen to nothing, right? She just wanted to push her program, which was standing on faulty legs, right? But cool, hey, you the one out there. You the one out there. So, have at it. Do what you do. Have at it. You the one that's out there. You the one that's out there, dating people just because out of spite, according to you. And then you said it wasn't out of spite, but then you said it is. Then you said you're recruiting for the divested community. Hey, I feel like this, man. If you're gonna divest, go on and divest. Go be their problem, right? Go be their I have at it. Conservative black woman. I hope you get as many white dudes as you can. Have at it. Have at it. One of the little things, a fish market thing, the little red thing, you get a little ticket. Hey, I hope you let only white dudes have that ticket. They standing in your waiting room, waiting, right? No problem. And then I don't think it bothered any of us. I think we were just trying to break down the psychology of what was going on. But you didn't want that. You didn't want us to break the psychology down. You wanted to just strike. And so that's why you was saying the stupid stuff you were saying. But we was trying to give you real insight to what is actually going on psychologically. You wasn't having that. Shout out to conservative black woman. Anyway.
hold on.
Yeah, she picked
I
a
mean,
bad
you
person.
always
Yeah.
killings usually happen as far as close to proximity.
Right.
So that's not because black men are just so hard. I mean, white people, the
Right.
majority of white people, like we get that.
Yeah,
Right.
but just
So
you
let
know,
me-
being around a group of black men is could be dangerous. It could be. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. Stop saying stuff like that. What are you
It
doing?
can be. I'm sorry. It's
Okay.
dangerous. You can't.
Yeah, being around the wrong kind of black dude, yeah, definitely can be dangerous. We're not arguing with that. Being around the wrong kind of type of dude, whether he's wearing a suit or whether he's wearing some sagging khakis, yeah, it could be dangerous for depending on the kind of person you hanging out with. So stop hanging out with bad people. That's what we got to tell black women ain't getting. Black women are saying all black men are like this, and they not. That's the inference that this girl is saying, that it's all black men, and they're not like that. All black men are not like that. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Let's go. Let's finish up.
Can be.
Were you in a jail or something? What are you talking about?
If you look at the stats on intimate partner violence, white women suffer more intimate partner violence in America than any other group of women.
Well,
I'm talking about homicides.
That was a good point. That was a good point. Shout out to Omawali. That was a good point. Right? But watch them just sweep that one right under the rug. They're going to just sweep that one right under the rug.
more violent happen amongst lesbians. So it's not even the black men that are hurting women. If you're in a lesbian relationship, you're most likely to get hurt, killed, smacked, beat up. So they have the most.
I'm talking about homicides. Homicides.
Okay, so now we're talking about homicides. Okay. I mean, just like Peppermint Patty, man, just keep moving the football. Every time you try to kick it, they move it, right? Okay.
And if we're talking,
Nobody talked about it, but during the holidays, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there were like 7 murder-suicides between black men and black women. It wasn't just that guy who killed those 2 nurses. It was other people besides him, other black men that nobody covered. But I looked it up and I was like, wow, I could not believe it. It was so many, like, black women that lost their lives over this.
Right? White men aren't killing
No, I didn't say they weren't either. Yes, there was a few sprinkled in there. But I'm saying,
So basically, her argument is that black men are killing black women. Therefore, it's a safety issue why you should date other men of other races. First, it was the fact that they were getting talked about. Then it was the issue of whether it was they were getting talked about by men in the manosphere. Then it became an issue of not being no good black men. Now it's the issue of the safety issue. So she keeps moving the football. She keeps, like Peppermint Patty, keeps moving it. Every time I try to kick it, she keeps pulling it back, right? Putting something, moving it to a new location, right? But I just wanted to go over and establish what I was saying, because I didn't think that it's hard to establish what you're saying. And shout out to Courtney. It's hard to manage. As a content creator who does live streams, it's hard to let everybody on the panel and have some type of order where everybody on the panel will get to say they say. It's hard. It's hard to do that, right? And then you got some people on the panel, like conservative black women, that just start talking. She just interrupt anybody who's talking. She just start talking, right? So you have people like that on the panel. You got to try to control the situation so that it doesn't get out of hand. Shout out to Courtney. Shout out to Omawale. Shout out to Pablo. Shout out to Yella. Shout out to Derek Spina. Shout out to Catherine Forbes. Shout out to Pablo. Shout out to Conservative. And shout out to Courtney. Hey, shout out to me. All right, y'all. So that was it. That's I'm gonna probably have to cut this up into 3 parts because it's so long. And you guys can see that you gotta watch how you're being dealt with, because saying sometimes you're in a situation, and so carry your stats with you. Don't go on these platforms and don't be ready to cite something that's it. Like, I didn't cite anything publicly. I cited something to Courtney in a private chat. I don't know if she looked at it, but because I didn't want to say something. I didn't want to cross her in front of the public, right? So I didn't say anything in front of the public, but I gave her some information on the private chat. However, I never said anything about any stats up here. I just said what is commonly known. It's common understanding, right? If black women were so desirable, there wouldn't be that many of them available out there. But on the contrary, it's a plethora of black women available out there in the street. It's so many of them that are available that they get upset when two dudes like Fresh and Fit will say, I don't date black women. Like, they get upset over that. If black women was really that desired, would they even give a goddamn that Fresh and Fit would say something like that? Really? Would they care? I don't think they would even bat an eye that Fresh and Fit said they don't date black women. Those two guys said they don't date black women. I don't think it would even be an uproar. But it's obviously an uproar because why? People aren't checking for black women like that. So that's why they're so concerned with anything that is said about them like that. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be checking for black women. What I'm saying is there's underlying reasons why men are not checking for black women. One of them is that black women cannot bring them into immortality, and I try to explain that, but nobody wants to accept that and look at that. So that's okay. I'll meet y'all back here in about 20 years when you finally grind that one up and say, yeah, you know what, that dude had a point. I'll meet you back here in 20 years. You're gonna need 20 years to kind of digest that one. All right, y'all. What do you think? Am I wrong? Is Derek Spina wrong? Is Captain Force wrong? Is Pablo wrong? Is Courtney wrong? Is conservative black woman wrong? Is my brother Omawale wrong? Is my brother Yellow wrong? What's going on? Who's right? Who's wrong? Are black women right? Are black women in high demand out here? Right? And they just turning down all these good marriage proposals, right? That's what must be going on. They're out here turning out all these, they're getting such good marriage proposals, they're turning them all down, right? Because they just want to be single. That's what's going on, right? The desire is high for them in long-term relationships, right? No, I think the desire for them is high in the sexual market value. In the sexual marketplace, the value is high for them. In the long-term relationship marketplace, the value is very low because they come with a already strike against them why they cannot bring nobody into they cannot bring anyone into give anyone immortality other than the black man. They can only give any other man a portion of immortality. But maybe I'm wrong. One of y'all come up here and prove me wrong. All right, brothers, never be the aggressor. Never be the aggressor. Peace.